Hello friends, welcome to Legal Learning. So today I'm going to discuss about police system. This is the topic relating to LLM criminology. This can be helpful for other competitive exams as well. But you don't need to go in depth for this competitive exam, but in criminology we have to go very in depth. So today I'm going to first of all define the give the historical origin of police, and then I will deal with the etymology of the word police and its suggestive reforms, then functions, and various others committee that recommended is reform. And also there's Police Act 1861 is also there. This is central legislation, and this is also very important. Done. Okay, so let's begin. Now, first of all, we know there is a society, right? We live in a society. There is a state. We live in a state called India. India is a sovereign state. Sovereignty implies both free from external aggression and also internal disturbance, right? Okay, so 1857. What is the importance of 1857 historically? In the year 1857, there was the revolt of 1857. Done. Revolt of 1857. This is very important thing historically. Then afterwards, 1861, British enacted Police Act 1861 to control the people in India. This is a British product. Done. 1861. This is still in force, and still we follow this outdated legislation, Police Act 1861. Done. But this is actually originally a British product. British enacted it to control the Indian people, and it was enacted after the revolt of 1857. Done. Okay, apart from this, there are some other important things to mention is that um, Article 246 is important in this regard. Done. Now there's we know the Schedule 7. It contains three lists. List 1, List 2, and List 3. One is Union list, and there is State list, and then there is concurrent list. Union list, the Parliament has exclusive power to enact. State list, the legislature of state has the power to enact. Now in entry 2, so state list. Police is a state subject. Done. Police is a state subject. Now, but in entry 2A of the union list, we find some other matters in which the parliament has power to legislate. These are deployment of armed forces of union. Armed forces. Okay. Armed forces of union and its deployment. Deployment where? Or any other forces subject to the control of union, or any contingent or unit thereof in any state in aid of the civil power. For example, in northeastern states like Assam. Suppose Assam. Okay, there's some internal disturbance, right? So there is a legislation called Armed Forces Special Powers Act, right? So for this purpose, to handle this kind of situation, or for example Jammu and Kashmir, there is also some disturbance. The police can deploy armed forces of the union. These are armies, obviously, to help the civil forces that is police in the state. Okay, done. So entry 2 state list, entry 2A union list. Now we have to know these entries. Okay, now police is, as we know, is a state subject. Generally state has the power to legislate. There is Assam Police Act 2007, which we can read. Okay, it is part of our syllabus as well as regards to Assam. Now we need to know another thing, the hierarchy of state police. What is the hierarchy? First of all, at the head there is a DGP, Director General of Police. Then there's below that additional DGP. Then Inspector General of Police, IGP. Then Deputy Inspector General of Police. Then below there, Senior Superintendent of Police. Below there, Superintendent of Police, SP. These are IPS officers, right? Then additional SP is there. If SP, then there will be additional SP. Then if additional SP. Then assistant below, then assistant deputy SP. Done. So this is the hierarchy, and these are the officers that are in good ranks, but there are only 1% officers that are in good rank. Now there is a problem in police, constable and head constable. This consists of 86% in police force. This huge number is not that relevant, because not that effective. This huge number of people that are employed in head constable or constable post, this is one of the, what we can say, criticism of today's police system. Because a huge number of 86% of police force are only constable and head constable, and these are not effective enough. Okay, then comes upper subordinates, which consist of 13%. These are inspector, down there sub-inspector, SI, then down there assistant, SI. Then lower subordinates are head constable and constable. This consists of 86%. We can divide it through a chart. Okay, I'm dividing it. Now here, three kinds of officers. Officers of rank 1%. These are superior officers. This consists of DGP, ADGP, additional DGP, Inspector General of Police, Deputy Inspector of Inspector General of Police, then Senior Superintendents of Police, then Superintendents of Police, then Additional Superintendents of Police, then Assistant Deputy SP. Done. Then comes these are 13% upper subordinates, but they are subordinates to those officers, those rank 1% officers. These are inspector, sub-inspector, and assistant SI. Done. And then comes constable and head constable. 86% of police force consists of constable and head constable. Done. Okay. Then we'll read the territorial division. Then let's understand the general meaning of the term police. The word police is used in much wider, historically it was used in much wider sense, and it meant that management of internal economy, and for enforcement of government regulations for its enforcement. Done. Then slowly it began to used in a much narrower sense to mean that this is the machinery of state that is mainly deployed for the maintenance of law and order and enforcement of regulations, and also it is for the purpose of investigation under chapter 12 of CRPC section 154 to 176. These are some of the functions of the police. Then arrest and detention, and also summon and warrant, search and seizure. These things are provided under CRPC in particular sections. These are some of the functions of the police. Then comes etymologically, from where the word is derived from. The word police is derived from the Greek word Greek. Okay. It is derived from both Greek and Latin word. Then comes etymological origin. Etymologically, it is derived from both Greek and Latin word. The Greek word here is politia. 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 And its Latin equivalent is politia. There's difference in kind of spelling. And this stands for state or administration. This means state or administration. Done. So the present context, it is police are civil servants. In present context, police are civil servant. The definition of civil servant is given under article section 21 of IPC 45 of 1860. Okay, so what are the functions of police? As I have already told, detection, prevention, and control of crime. Detect crime, prevent crime, control crime, and also enforcement of law. Okay, these are the functions of police. Apart from this, we know that CRPC is summon, warrant, charge, seizure, investigation, arrest, etc. There are many functions that police performs. And also there are many kinds of police also. I will show you the kinds of police. For example, we know there are armed forces. These are military forces. Then comes civil forces. Civil forces includes the police generally, then traffic police, then women police, general police, traffic police, women police. These are civil forces, civil police. Then military police is army, navy, and air forces. These are the subject of union list. These are mainly responsible for protecting the state for external aggression, and these police are for internal. Okay.